when it comes to planning for the future, there are certain items your college students will want to prepare. And today we're talking to David Carrier, our expert in estate planning, discussing something most of us may not consider. And I'm going to make a confession. I fall into this group, and I've had 3 kids go to college.
3 kids go to college, yeah.
And
it's not just college, of course, but here we are, the middle of July. We were in the store the other day. My 9-year-old is like, Daddy, there's a violation. I'm like, what do you mean violation? Health code violation? No, it was a back to school sale going on. And here we are in July. He said, that's a violation. I said, okay. But it got me thinking about back to school. And here's the way it works lots of times. You know, the kid applies to colleges and all the rest, and then one day you get the fat envelope.
That's right, the big fat envelope. We know that means good news because you have been accepted into your college of choice.
That's wonderful, huh? And pretty soon, out come the grades.
Grades, yes indeed. And as parents, we have a vested interest in making sure our kids have really good grades.
We want to know that. And so when you ask the school, but what about my kid's grades? You know what they'll say? We can't tell ya.
Really?
Can't tell ya.
Okay, you know, and it's interesting because these grades oftentimes will come either in an envelope addressed to the student,
which of course you would never open as a respectful parent.
Well, or a violation of federal mail law.
That's right.
And or they get emailed to the child.
To the kid.
You don't have access to that. And so if your kids aren't going to tell you, the school can't tell you.
The school can't tell you either. Yeah, it's really frustrating. A lot of parents think, well, I'm paying the bill. Well, of course I get to find out. Not so fast.
Not necessarily.
Then when the doctor bill comes from the school infirmary, and you say,
what was my kid in the
school infirmary for?
Yeah.
The answer is,
we can't
tell ya. And when you get the disciplinary board letter from the campus cops, and you say, what happened?
What did Bobby or Susie do? They say,
can't tell ya.
Okay.
And when there's other stuff going on, whatever
that is, your kid moves into an apartment, you can't read the lease, any of those other kind of things, and they say,
can't tell
we can't tell you. So is there something that parents can do to make sure that they stay in that information loop and stay connected?
Well, golly, that's a great question there, Terry.
The $1 million question today.
Yes. And we still have some more things to flip over. So the answer is power of attorney.
Okay, now this is fascinating because my husband and I both have powers of attorney for each other.
Right.
Never considered that for my adult age children, 18 and over. But this is something really important that parents should have.
You want to talk to your kid gets knocked out, right? And you go to the hospital and you're, Dr. Kildare, what's up with Jimmy? And Dr. Kildare says, can't tell ya. Right. And you say, well, we're going to take the arm off at the shoulder. And you say, wait a second. I'd like to have input into this decision. No, you can't until you go to probate court and get appointed guardian and all the rest. With the power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney, now you can have access to the medical records, you can talk to the doctors, you can help make those decisions if the kid is out of action.
And you can have access to their college information, their transcripts, their grades, meet with the professors, all those sorts of things as well.
One of the things that we see coming up time and time again now is where you have parents or grandparents who will co-sign the loan, right? What you don't realize when you co-sign the first one, you just signed up for 4 years unless you revoke it.
Okay.
Well, nobody revokes it.
Right.
And when you call the bank and you say, how much is the kid borrowing? Guess what they tell you?
We can't
tell ya. One more time.
And so you've made this really something simple for your for anybody out there, because you want to make sure that parents have this in effect before their kids leave for college the very first year, and you're offering a really special deal.
So here's what we're doing. If you want a financial power of attorney for your kid, if you want a healthcare power of attorney for the kid, we've made it really easy. You just call the office, right? We'll send you the form. You fill in the form. It's not a power of attorney form. It's an information form.
Right.
Like who's going to be in charge, mom and dad's name, whoever else they may want, the kid's name, name, rank, serial number, that kind of thing. And then you come to the office, and in a very quick 15 to 20 minute at the most, we're getting those things signed, notarized, 2 copies, out the door. Because when you have power of attorney, and they say, can't tell ya, but you have power of attorney, now you can say, oh yes, you can.
That is fantastic. And
so here's the deal.
Okay.
Here's the deal on that. It's $500, $495 for the first one. But get together the kids in the neighborhood, because every additional one, every one after the first, is $250. We'll put 40 people in the room. We'll get them all done at the same time. All right. You don't have to be related. You don't have to go to the same school.
You don't already have to be a client of David and his team. He just wants to make sure that this is available to everybody, because, I mean, it really is an essential element of that back to school venture for families.
Unless you want to hear, can't tell you.
Yeah.
Now, we still do our workshops. You know that.
Exactly.
We're doing those all over the place. Go to the website, davidcarrierlaw.com. You can find, we do that radio show on the weekend.
Right.
And we had a professor from Grand Valley called in. One of the most frustrating things he has to deal with is sitting across the table from parents who want to know what the heck is going on with little Johnny and can't tell you.
His hands are tied as well. And so you have a number of different workshops, different communities across West Michigan, and we also should say congratulations, because you've opened a number of offices.
Right.
Portage, of course, I was there to cut the ribbon.
That's right.
Several months ago, and you actually have now brick and mortar in Holland.
In Holland, yeah. The Holland office now has the workshops at the office. We did have a couple of meeting rooms for the last several years. We've really outgrown those. We're just booked up all the time. So now we have our own separate office down at what they call Windmill Dutch Village. Village.
That is nice.
And we're really happy with that.
Perfect place. Okay, so we should also let everybody know about a great event you have coming up. I know classic cars. That's a passion of yours.
Yes. So we've got the classic car drive-ins coming up, and again, that's open to everybody. There's no charge. Yesterdog is going to, I know we got the grill, those guys are really great, but Yesterdog is going to be catering this one. I did it last year at the grill, and I guess the results were not what everybody wanted.
Okay,
with
all right.
me grilling the hot
so you're going to bring
dogs,
in the professional. You're all about bringing in the professionals for everything. Right. You do the law, leave the grilling to somebody else.
There you go.
And again, that's August 11th, and everybody is invited.
Right.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
What a great piece. Now, even though my daughter is going to be a sophomore in college, can I still get in on the deal?
Absolutely. This is not just for freshmen. If you've got a kid who's 18 or older, you got to realize.
Even a high school senior.
High school seniors, too. I mean, they can't talk to you. The federal law prohibits that unless you have the power of attorney. But with the power of attorney, now you can find out. Now you can actually act as parent. Everyone wants you to act as a parent. Now you can do it.
That sounds great. Thanks, David. And stay right there. More of 8West when we come back. Don't go away.
This is 8West.